Good evening and welcome to Midnight Movie Club. In tonight's video I wanted to break down and discuss the Candyman puppet trailer. Now I know I am a little bit late on this one, but I still wanted to talk about it for those of you who may be interested on my take of it. I honestly think that this is one of the most effective horror trailers in years, and it was done in such a simple yet creative way with the use of paper puppets and no dialogue. All we hear throughout the whole trailer is Helen's theme from the original Candyman score by Philip Glass. It's a beautiful and haunting theme, perfect for this harrowing trailer. The trailer starts off with Anthony, the new main protagonist from the new film, and who will eventually become our new Candyman. He is doing his paintings and starting to open his eyes to the Candyman legend. Then the trailer splits off into the first of three tales. The first shows a man who works at a candy factory offering some candy to a couple of children. Then we see him come across three police officers who clearly decide he wasn't just offering the children candy and use this as an excuse to chase him down and beat him. The first story I'm not too sure if it's real or not, but the next two are real world stories, or at least they're based on them. The next we see a black man moving into what I am guessing is a white supremacist neighbourhood as a mob turns up at his door and he is dragged outside, hooked onto a truck and towed for miles. This story is probably a reference to the murder of James Byrd Jr in 1998. He was beaten by three white men and dragged behind their truck for almost 3 miles. Moving on to the last of these first three tales, we see what is probably another reference to more racial injustice with the case of 14-year-old George Stinney Jr. It was in June 1944 George was accused of murdering 2 white girls, and despite a lack of evidence, he was sentenced to death after a jury of all white members deliberated for only 10 minutes. 10 minutes was all it took to decide a 14-year-old's life. What makes it worse was in 2014, 70 years later, a judge vacated George's conviction on the grounds that his constitutional rights had been violated in a number of ways, and that he didn't get proper due process. And just to make it clear, the judge did not exonerate George, despite a lot of people on social media and just the internet claiming he finally had his innocence. It's not the happy ending everyone wanted. She had vacated his conviction. There is a big difference. Sadly, we will never get a definitive answer to George's case, and his innocence that seems likely will probably never be declared. Well, if you came here for a cheery video to brighten your day, then sorry, this ain't it. But let's finally move on to the last tale in the trailer, one that is fiction, the origin of the Candyman. Here we see the Candyman as an artist. He is accepted at first by the white society that he lives within, and he even painted portraits for wealthy families of the community. Though things changed when he began a relationship with a white woman, her father did not approve and he ended up hiring a mob to chase him out of his house and their community. But they did not stop there. They cut off his hand and then smeared honey all over him so that while he burned, bees would sting his flesh. And that is the origin of the Candyman. This horrible act is what created the urban legend known as the Candyman and gave us the one Helen came face to face with in the 1992 film. The trailer then ends with the bee appearing in Anthony's eye, signalling that he may well become the next Candyman, and as it does, each person from each tragic tale rises. So overall, this is an awesome yet chilling trailer, and one I'd really like to see more of for horror trailers in general. It really set the tone and the vibe for the film, and I preferred it to the actual trailer. It's just a really cool way to do it, and it's a way where it won't spoil anything decent from the movie. Half the time you see half the kills, and you know which characters are going to die before you even sit in your seat. There are probably a few people on the internet who will say it's virtue signalling or race baiting, and I would actually disagree. In Clive Barker's original Candyman story, the Candyman was the son of a slave and a victim of racial hate violence, so it makes sense to show his tragic origin alongside real-life tragedies of the same nature. It makes the horror hit home that bit harder when you tie it to real life events like this. Trust me, I hate virtue signalling and all that woke shit as much as the next person. I don't think it's really needed in movies and TVs. It's ruined a lot of things, put it that way. But this wasn't that. This was a tragic horror trailer done right, in my opinion. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the matter. Let me know what you thought of the trailer in the comment section down below, and if you're looking forward to this new iteration of Candyman. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, and if you haven't already, then subscribe to join the club. As always, thank you very much for watching, and good night.